And you are here advising you have a certain rights as follows. Okay.
When you combine money, careless parents, and the foolishness of youth, you create a spoiled child, an individual that is utterly useless to society and themselves. These children often know next to nothing about what it means to be responsible, and we're more than happy to see them learn it the hard way. Watch what happens when spoiled kids think they're above the law.
Put it across. Take this, put it across. Take this, put it across. Moonshine, take that.
Almost every single time you see a rich kid misbehaving, they have parents who are enabling their terrible behaviors. It doesn't matter what the child does. These parents will always blame something else or somebody else. Their child is never at fault. This parent falls into the same category.
Check your life jackets. Just catching bait.
No, just swimming. Hanging
Yeah,
out.
I saw the sabiki.
Yeah,
We just keep that on there. You never know, right?
It's good to have.
Never see if you see someone on top.
Public safety cards?
Yeah.
I don't have it on me now. You can look it up.
The footage shows a group of teenagers sitting in a boat. The officer calls out, telling them to check their life jackets. They all try to act nonchalant, but they're all clearly tense. The officer notices the smell of alcohol coming from their boat, and he asks about it. Everyone goes silent. Suddenly, these teenagers aren't as chatty as they were only moments ago.
Step on my boat. Interesting. Who's over the age of 21 again? Who's over 18? Who's 19? Okay, so the youngest on the boat are 18-year-olds. All right, cool.
The policeman asks them why the smell of alcohol is coming from their boat. They don't answer his question, prompting him to step forward and begin a search. It doesn't take long before he finds the alcohol stashed in the hatches. He confirms that none of the young people present are over the age of 21, which means none of them are legally allowed to drink. The youngest person on the boat was 18.
Okay, what's going to happen is you're underage. You're driving a vessel. Okay, you drew the log slaw, whatever it may be. All right, so there's going to be a PBT. It's a portable breath test. Okay, you're going to blow into it. If you're above a .02, you're going to get a citation today. Okay, the citation, you still get to go home. Okay, but you'll have a court date. Do we understand that? Okay, if it's below a .02, cool. You guys are still going to get charged with possession of alcohol by underage. Okay, do we understand that? Now, how you guys break that up, it doesn't matter to me. It's either one or all. I have a lot of paper. I'll give it to you as your choice. So you guys can powwow how you guys want to do that. It can either be the captain, the owner of the boat, or it can be all of you guys. I do not care.
The officer asks one of the girls for her ID. She appears to be the captain of the boat. The officer returned and informed her that she was underage while driving a boat, and he would be administering a breath test, and if she registered above .02, she would get a citation. But that's not all. They were still in trouble for possession of alcohol while underage. The officer gives them the choice to decide who is going to take responsibility, the captain or all of them. Girl number 1 admits the boat belongs to her father.
One, she has a way to battle it. The other one, she doesn't. Refusal is the doesn't. No matter what, she'll get those.
Okay, so if she refuses, she
She's-
still loses her license for a year?
She loses her ability to operate a vessel, and depending on the court can take away her license. All right, because she is a minor. I mean, she's not a minor. She is under 21.
Around this time, girl number 1's mother shows up. The woman tries to talk her daughter out of trouble, but the officer immediately shuts her down. Seeing this, the woman tells the officer that her daughter doesn't drink. The officer doesn't believe her one bit, but he tells her they'll find out after she takes the test. Although the officer isn't going to look the other way, he does try to be lenient and limit the offense she's charged with to an infraction. If she refuses to take the test, she'll lose her ability to operate a vessel and/or lose her license, depending on the court.
Does have some, well,
If she's below a .02, then that situation's over with.
do you think...
The situation of
For that to show up on that, like if she took a sip or a couple sips of a drink?
it all depends on how fast she metabolizes alcohol. You know what I mean? And it depends on when the last time her drink was and all this. It has been, if what she's telling me was right, it's probably been about an hour. I can't, like I said, I can't tell you to blow or not to blow.
So
I can only give you your options, and
Yeah,
then
I
you
got
guys
you.
have to make the decision. Actually, she has to make the decision. I'm giving her the courtesy to have her mom there to help her out with it. Okay?
So if it does go higher than a .2, seems like you could barely just take one little sip.
Well, they're not even allowed to have anything on their system. That's why it's a .02.
Okay.
Okay.
So I just don't know the building rules.
No, it's not an arrestable offense.
The mother kept trying to convince the officer that her daughter was an innocent little angel. She then tries to blame what happened to the other youngsters who were on the boat with her. Clearly, she didn't mind ruining those other kids' life to save hers. It soon becomes clear that the mother is stalling to give her daughter time to chug down a lot of water.
This is my best friend Jeff.
Okay.
He just got off work. He's a lawyer. That's why he.
No problem.
He knows how upsetting I am. I was like, oh my God, out of all people on the planet, it has to be Katie. Like, she wasn't even operating the boat. She didn't even want to go in the boat. They were begging her to go.
Yeah.
So I just asked him, like, I don't know what to, because I was calling all my buddies at PBSO, because I thought, and then I pulled up, I'm like, oh, it's FWC. I don't know the rules.
The girl finally steps forward to take the breath test. The test only takes a few seconds before it's concluded. It turns out that all that water she was drinking was for nothing. Her test registered a .06, way higher than .02. Rich girl drank more alcohol than she told cops, and her mother had clearly been lying about her not drinking.
I've allowed the powwow. It is about to get to cutting time where I need to have her make a decision. It doesn't make a difference. All right, so you're going to blow. You're going to keep going until you hear a click. I'll tell you when to stop. Ready? Okay. Deep breath.
Rich girls would be facing charges now, including possession of alcohol while underage. A date would be set for her mandatory trial. Depending on the court ruling, she could lose her license. It's a shame that the mother didn't understand that this was a teachable moment for her daughter. Perhaps if she had done her job as a parent, her daughter wouldn't be in that position to begin with.
Carlos, get my hands in the pocket. Get your hand out of the pocket. Why the f? We don't have nothing. Are you serious?
A group of teenagers were causing a noise nuisance by blaring loud music from the car speakers. Naturally, the police step in to handle the situation. However, the teenagers don't heed any warnings, forcing the police officer to place him under arrest. His friends thought they could step and play hero to save their friend from the consequences of his own actions. Things didn't turn out the way they expected.
Hey, this one right here. I'll take your ID.
I ain't got no ID.
Well, then you're coming with me.
Stop. Stop. Bro, what you on, my nigga? What you mean? Don't stop. Bro, what you on? Stop.
The first officer shows up. He tries to get the teenagers' attention, but one of them simply keeps dancing, even with the officer nearby. They all act like he's not even there. Another officer approaches the dancing boy and asks for his ID. The boy announces that he has no ID, so the officer places him under arrest. This finally gets their attention. They start to approach the officers, yelling out complaints.
Better stay back! Stay back, I will tase you! Stay back! Stay back! This will be put on arrest.
He's not for what?
We're taking more units. Get back now!
He's 17. That's a minor.
That's called curfew!
It's a minor.
It's called curfew!
Okay.
So he's out after curfew.
So you ain't gotta test him like that.
Stay back!
Put your hands on him.
Stay back now! Yes, I will go invasive. Stay back now! Get back! Get back now!
Don't put your hands on him like that.
Get back!
That's what the I'm saying
It's
right
curfew!
Now.
Okay.
Just because he didn't have no ID, that just gives you a right to just arrest him?
It's after curfew.
No. Really? No.
Yes.
You didn't know he was a minor.
Yes.
You didn't know he was a minor. And I know you.
Now
I know
you're being
you
disorderly.
talking to you.
You're being
you
disorderly.
Talking to
Okay. You're under
I'm
arrest.
not.
Go now! Go now! You're under arrest! Hands two! Arrest him!
Hey, get this on video, bro.
You be disorderly!
Get this on video. Bro, don't touch me like that, nigga. Don't. How am I doing this orderly? Look at
Quit resisting!
Get this video.
Quit resisting!
Get this. Bro, hey, y'all see this? Y'all witness? Y'all see this shit? Yeah. I'll take y'all to court.
Persistent disorderly conduct.
Get the off me, talking to me like that, bitch. Can't breathe. Off me. I just got that today.
Stop moving, it won't fall off.
Get my phone. Get my phone.
He can get loud music.
You keep putting on my neck.
Stay back! Hey! Wireman, arrest him, he resisted his arrest!
Get my phone.
The officer threatens to take them if they don't stay back. One of the boys, who appears to be the owner of the car, demands to know what they're doing and announces that the boy being placed under arrest was 17. The officer orders him to get back. He starts to confront the cops, saying that they couldn't arrest the boy simply because he had no ID. He continues to yell until the officer places him under arrest as well. He tries to resist as the cop puts handcuffs on him too. Pretty sure he wished he had kept his mouth shut at that moment.
Carlos, get my car. Hands in the pocket, get your hand out of the pocket. Why the f? He don't have nothing. Are you serious?
Hey, y'all see this?
Dude.
Y'all see this?
Hey, there's 2 officers on him. There's 2 officers. Get back. You're out of your mind, bro. You see that? Bro, hey, you lucky I ain't got the force to be able to do something about this shit. I swear to God. I swear to God. Hey, Stevenson, grab his ID. That guy's ID right there. Carlos, yep, him. Close my car. Close the doors and the hood on my shit. Because I'm probably going to jail. Yes, you are. You're under arrest.
Bro, it's not hard. Just request your ID.
Bro,
Okay, I'm not trying to get.
hey, he resisted his arrest anyways.
I asked for his ID, he was grabbing it. 2 officers. Are you serious?
He resisted your arrest. You resisted arrest.
If my phone's broke, it's all. That's on me.
You shouldn't resist arrest.
I swear to God.
Step this way.
I didn't resist no arrest.
The third boy is shown yelling at the cops. The officer orders his arrest as well. The boy tries to resist the 2 cops. Officer number 1 draws his taser, while holding on to the second boy, aims and tasers the third boy, even as he stands between the 2 officers. The boy takes a hit and goes down. He quickly came under control after that. The kids try to spin everything to make it seem like the cops are racist. The delusional boy thinks the officer is going to lose his job. Ironically, the policeman is doing his job. The teens were placed under arrest for obstructing official business and resisting arrest. The one who ended up getting tased was found guilty of 2 counts of resisting arrest and 1 count of obstructing official business.
That's why I'm asking for y'all to pull over and help me. But what I'm saying is your jurisdiction, you don't got me to pull me over. Don't touch me, don't touch me, don't. Why are you touching me, bro? Because I pulled over, bro? Because I asked for help? You're touching me? But he just pulled me out of my car, bro. And when I say you going to jail?
This is another incident straight out of Ohio. It's not a new thing anymore to discover that children of politicians are actually the worst of the bunch. A lot of them are just like their parents. This case is a textbook example of how entitled children of rich kids are.
Are you doing okay?
I'm trying to get home.
Your car won't start?
No,
You need a tow?
please.
Now, if we tow it, it's gonna be to your expense, okay?
How much?
I don't know how much they charge. How much have you had to drink today?
Literally one drink.
That whole bottle drink, or what kind of drink?
No, one drink. Literally nothing.
The officer approaches the woman in a car. She informs the man that her car has broken down and she needs a tow. The cop notices that she's acting odd, and he asks her how much she has to drink. She tells the officer that she's had literally nothing, but even her words are coming out slurred. Also, there's an empty bottle of alcohol in the car, and if she had been sober, she would have realized she wasn't fooling anybody.
Step out of the car for me, ma'am.
You need to step out.
Yes, ma'am.
Do I have a search warrant?
Don't need a search warrant. You can step out.
You
No, I do
definitely
not.
need a search warrant.
I do not need a search warrant to have you step out of the car.
Definitely do need a
I
something
do
warrant.
not need a warrant to make you step out of the car. Doesn't matter. It's Supreme
You're
Court.
in Dayton, it's not
Ma'am, you
Supreme.
either get out of the car or I'm going to make you get out of the
I
car.
will before I get out of the car, but I want you to know, in jurisdiction, you're not capable of telling me to step out of this car. That's why I'm asking for y'all to pull over and help me. But what I'm saying is your jurisdiction, you don't got me to pull me over. Don't touch me, don't touch me, don't. Why are you touching me, bro? Because I pulled over, bro? Because I asked for help? You're touching me? But he just pulled me out of my car, bro. And when I say you going to jail?
A policeman asks the woman to step out of the car. She asks if he has a search warrant. Clearly, she has some idea of how the law works, though limited. She should have also been aware that driving under the influence of alcohol was a serious offense. The officer doesn't need a search warrant in order to ask her to step out of the car. She tries to argue with the officer, stating that he doesn't have jurisdiction even though he clearly stated that he did.
That's why I'm asking for y'all to pull over and help me. But what I'm saying is your jurisdiction, you don't got me to pull me over. Don't touch me, don't touch me, don't. Why are you touching me, bro? Because I pulled over, bro? Because I asked for help? You're touching me? But he just pulled me out of my car, bro. And when I say you going to jail?
After she finally steps out of the car, she snaps at the officer not to touch her. The officer proceeds to handle her exactly the way she should have been handled from the start. He ignores her protest and grabs her by the arm. The woman continues to ramble as the cop pulls her close to the cop's car. She gets handcuffed. Now, she should have just kept her mouth shut. and exercised her right to remain silent.
My purse is empty, but you want to check it? Here, it's right here. Right here, pull it up right here. No, check it. It's right there, check it. Since you want to pull me out my car and drag me out my car for no reason, bro, check that. You going to jail, bruh, and you losing your job, bruh. Losing your job, losing your job. Losing your job. You want to smash my head on the ground? Yeah, all right. I hope the cameras got that. Because you going to jail.
As the cops go to search her purse, the drunk woman becomes more argumentative and aggressive. She gets in the officer's face and starts yelling before getting shoved back against the car. The other officer gives her a stern warning. She continues to yell and argue with the officer. She keeps repeating "bruh" over and over again as she rants, as if that would drive her point home further. She screams at the cops, telling them they're going to jail. She keeps babbling until the cops manage to force her into the back seat of the car and slam the door, finally ending the torture of having to listen to a barely coherent rant.
Why do y'all have authority to harass me and take pictures?
Face that way.
I will do that,
Face
but
that way.
don't push me.
I'm not. Face that way.
I will, but don't push me. Like y'all been doing all night, and I'm
Face that way.
y'all.
Face that way, please. Turn your whole body, please.
When I say when y'all go to jail and I'm gonna sue y'all, please don't feel salty.
Yeah.
Yeah, please don't, because y'all had no right to arrest me. I have insurance, I have license, I'm authority, and y'all didn't even do no sobriety test on me. Did y'all read me my rights?
Turn around for me, please.
Did y'all read me my rights?
Turn around for me, please.
Y'all did not read me my rights.
Turn around for me, please.
Did y'all read me my rights?
I have not yet. Please
yeah,
face
I
that
know,
way.
because you have not.
Face that way, please.
You have not read me my rights
that
before
way.
you arrest me.
I'm going to read your rights, okay?
Yeah, I hope you will.
You need to listen now.
Put me in the car. I don't mean
I am a police officer,
put
and
me
you are
in the
here
car
advising you have a certain rights as follows.
mean that shit.
Okay.
After you put me in the car.
You have the right to remain silent.
That don't mean nothing.
Do you
I'm
understand?
in the car.
Do
I'm
you
in the
understand?
car already. I'm in the car already. What
Anything
not
you say,
mean about
Kenny,
that?
will be
You're going
before
to
you
jail.
ask any questions.
You're going
You have the right to have a lawyer.
You're going to jail. You illegally arrested me. You're going to jail.
Are you listening?
No, I'm not.
If you cannot afford a lawyer appointed by the court of
you're going
or a
to
lawyer,
jail.
do you
Put
understand?
me in handcuffs before you gave me my
Now
rights.
that you understand your rights, are you willing to answer any questions?
She continues her belligerent rant about the cops not reading her rights. In her drunken rage, she threatens to sue the cops and tells them they're going to jail. When the police officer starts to read her rights, the woman tries her best to interrupt, but the officer continues. After reading her rights, he asks if she would take a blood test, and she says no at first, but then quickly changes her answer when her alcohol-addled mind finally catches up.
Are y'all dead ass serious? But my headlight went out for 2 seconds because my headlight was blue. And I asked for help. I even put my signals on and asked for help. And y'all put me over like I was a geek, like I was trying to hurt y'all. I have insurance, I have license, I have all that. My headlight went out. My headlight went out and I pulled over and asked for help.
The camera cuts to the woman sitting in the back of the car as she is being transported to the station. She continues to complain, and this time, her story has changed. It went from flat tire to bad headlights, and she didn't even realize this. The camera catches her going into different moods, ranging from anger to grief, and then back to outrage.
You didn't ask me for nothing. You didn't ask me for no license. You didn't ask me for no insurance. You just literally put your hands on me and dragged me in your car, bro. Let me out this car, bro. I was sitting this for you because you were a weak and stand on your own backbone.
The drunk woman reveals that her father is the mayor. Perhaps she had hoped to use that to intimidate the officer into freeing her, but it doesn't work. Even when she threatens to make the officer lose his job. They arrive at the police station. The charges brought against the girl include assaulting an officer, working under the influence, resisting arrest, disorderly behavior, and obstructing an official. Well, hopefully, that taught them a lesson in humility. Just because your father is mayor doesn't mean one is immune to the consequences of their own actions. Well, it's another one out of Ohio. Seems like a gift that keeps on giving. This time, a cop notices a car moving fast. He turns on his radio and discovers the car is going over 100 miles per hour. He goes after the speeding vehicle. The driver of the vehicle turns out to be Timothy Grafton, son of a police officer.
131 radio 28.
Greg.
John Tom Queen 8836.
Stay in the car.
Liberty 43 out of traffic stop. If I can get another unit. Also Paul King, Henry 4043. Paul King, Henry 4043. Turn the car off.
I copy that. Check's okay on a white 2014 Ford.
Put your hands on the wheel.
Grantwood.
The dash cam shows Grafton's vehicle blowing past the officer. He does a quick U-turn and goes after him. The car spins off the road, and the officer catches up as he tries to back out. He pulls over on the side of the road. As Grafton attempts to get out, the officer orders him to stay in the car, turn it off, and put his hands on the wheel. During that time, a white van pulled up in front of Grafton's car.
Service department.
Where's your keys at? Alright, give me the keys. Alright, the reason I stopped you going 102 miles an hour at 35.
No, I was not.
Yes, you were.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any reason you're going so fast?
I was just trying to get home. Here, if you see my license, I'll say it right. 35.
Okay, where are you coming from?
I'm coming from my grandmother's house.
Where'd your grandma live?
At Cato, Maple Heights.
Okay. Alright, any firearms in the vehicle?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you have?
I gave it to you.
Okay, so is this where you're going now, said circle?
Yes, sir.
Why are you going?
I gave you my driver's license as well.
Close your driver door.
I'm sorry?
Close your driver's door.
The officer approaches the car and takes away Grafton's keys. He informs the young man that he was speeding, which he quickly denied. The officer asked him where he was coming from, and Grafton said his grandmother's house. Guess we all speed like maniacs as we're leaving Grandma's. The cops asked if there were any firearms in the vehicle, and Grafton said no in response. Now, keep that in mind for later.
Where you headed to tonight?
Yes, sir. I'm going home.
Okay, where are you coming from?
I'm coming from my grandmother's house.
Any valid reason for your speed today?
I'm sorry?
Any valid reason for your speed today?
No.
Any valid reason for driving off the road?
As in, when I came around the corner, my tires more so left, did not give me traction. I turned around, I came to turn, I left over here.
Okay. Anything to drink tonight?
No, sir.
No? Nothing to smoke? Nothing? Anything in the car I need to know about? No weapons or anything?
I have one legal firearm.
The officer asks Grafton why he was driving so fast. He starts apologizing, telling the cop his name again, and casually mentioning that his father was Sergeant Grafton, whatever effect he'd been going for. The officer didn't respond to it at all. He asks Grafton if he knows the person in the white van parked in front of them, and Grafton says that's his next-door neighbor. Another officer comes over to question Grafton. He flounders as he tries to explain how he got off the road. They ask the usual questions: alcohol, smokes, and weapons. Grafton denies everything except possessing a firearm.
Do me a favor, put your hands on the steering wheel for me. I'm going to take the gun out for now, just for our safety, okay?
Yes, sir. Right under there.
Put your hands up on the steering wheel.
Right under.
Told you we didn't have one? Yep. It was tucked right in between the seat and the console there. He said it was under the jacket, but it was over here.
He tells the cop that he legally owns a firearm, and it is under the jacket in the car. The officer takes the gun away. They discover the gun between the seat and the console, not under the jacket like he said. The officer confirms from his colleague that Grafton had initially told him he wasn't in possession of a firearm. Grafton clearly wasn't being completely truthful.
Alright, Timothy, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here's what's gonna happen.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna get a couple tickets, okay? And then you're gonna be on your way.
Okay.
Alright?
Yes, sir.
So, I'll get you out of those in a minute here, okay?
Okay.
Well, first, your speed. Okay. Failure to control your vehicle. Then improper handling of a firearm. Because you failed to notify me there was a gun in the car when I asked you.
Now, I believe, sir, I thought you said, is there any illegal firearms in the vehicle?
No, I didn't say any illegal firearms. I asked if there are any firearms in the vehicle. So...
Footage shows Grafton sitting in the back of the cop car. The officer informs him that he would be getting a citation. Grafton asks what he was being cited for. The officer lists them out, and includes failure to admit that he had a weapon in the car when asked. Grafton switches up and says he thought the officer was asking if he had any illegal firearms.
So the first thing is going to be your speed, and then failure to control, reasonable control, because you drove off the roadway and nearly crashed.
Yes, sir. Now, I do want to note that about a month ago, I had an incident about 7:30 in the morning. I was going to work.
It was raining in the world, and it was I hydroplaned into a curb in Beechwood, Ohio.
Okay.
Now my control arm and my axle is still messed up. Now I believe that's what contributed as well to my accident.
Along with going 102 miles an hour.
Now I do not believe I will say this. I do not believe I was going 102 miles an hour. Now I understand that that's what you had on your radar, and I understand that. I cannot refute that.
The officer asks him to step out of the car before he begins to explain Grafton's citation. When he hears that he would be cited for failure to control his car, he makes up a story about his car having an issue, as that was the reason why he lost control. The officer comments that going over the speed limit also contributed to it. Of course, he denies everything. Clearly, the officer had been wrong about him speeding. Furthermore, Grafton gets a warning for having marijuana in the car. He looks surprised by that. He's getting off easy with that too. He leaves his signature on the document, and the cops let him go. Timothy Grafton was charged with speeding and failure to maintain reasonable control of his vehicle. Still, he got off easy. The cops could have done a sobriety test at least, to ensure he wasn't drunk. His behavior was certainly suspicious.
0.051, okay? So you're over the legal limit, okay? So go ahead and turn around and put your hands behind your back, okay? You're under arrest for DUI under 21.
An officer notices a vehicle doing an improper U-turn and initiates a traffic stop, pulling her over. The driver of the car is identified as 19-year-old Ashley Hollinger. The officer noticed that her eyes were bloodshot and watery, and he caught the smell of alcohol coming from her breath. Hollinger fails all the sobriety tests carried out.
Registration?
All right.
Sorry. That's all I have.
Do you have your driver's license?
Like, it's at home.
Oh, it's at home, okay.
Yeah.
All right, what's your last name?
Hollinger. H-O.
Okay. First name?
Ashley. A-S-H-L-E.
Middle name?
Sue. S-U-E.
All right. Date of birth?
9/30/01.
30/01. And through Washington State?
Washington State.
Okay. All right. Do you know why I'm stopping you today?
I don't know.
No, you don't know?
I was a little fast. I will give you that.
All right. Yeah, you were hauling a little bit.
No.
All right. So as you were making that right-hand turn, okay, you, rather than turning in the outside lane, which was closest to you, you turned into the inside lane, which was furthest from you.
It's just what I got marked down on, so...
You got marked down on that?
Yeah, and my dad is actually a... My dad's a police officer, so he taught me how to drive. It's Seattle, Port of Seattle.
Oh, Port of Seattle? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, give me a second. I'll be right back with you, okay?
Hollinger hands her registration to the officer, but is unable to provide her driver's license. She tells him she left it at home. He notes down her name and then explains to her why he pulled her over for a stop.
Ashley, you want to hop out real quick? All right. Yeah, just come back here.
Okay.
All right. Hey, how old are you?
I'm 19 and a half.
He's 19?
Yeah.
Okay. How much alcohol you have tonight?
Not a lot, and I'm like really nervous. I get very, but like not a lot at all.
Not a lot?
No.
Okay, so like how many beers or shots you?
Like a beer and like maybe a couple like White Claws.
A couple White Claws?
So.
How many White Claws?
Two.
Two?
Maybe 1.5.
Okay, when was your last one?
A couple hours ago.
A couple hours, so 2 hours ago?
I thought, yeah, like maybe even 3. It was like early today, at 10. So
at 10?
Not early at all.
Okay, so your last drink was at 10? Or like around 10?
Yeah, 10.
Okay. All right, here's what I'd like to do, okay? I do smell it coming from your breath still, okay? Would you like to do some voluntary field sobriety test?
Sure.
It's up to you.
I don't know what that means.
So it's voluntary, is what I'm saying.
Sure.
Okay.
The officer returns to the car and asks Hollinger to step out of the car. The officer asks her how much she's had to drink. Hollinger tells him she didn't drink too much, but she did drink alcohol. She admits to drinking a few White Claws, and that she had the alcohol over 2 hours prior. She obviously isn't telling the truth. The cop tells her he could still smell alcohol on her breath and proposes a field sobriety test. Hollinger agrees to take the test.
See the top of my pen?
Yep.
All right. All right, so for this next one, okay, like you do is imagine a straight line out in front of you, okay? I want you to place your left foot on that imaginary line with your right foot in front, touching heel to toe, just like I am. Okay, go ahead and get in that starting position now.
This way?
Yeah, this one. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
1, 2, 3.
All right, so for this next one, okay, stand with your feet together, arms on your side like you're in the military. What you're gonna do is pick either leg you're choosing, whatever foot you decide to pick, you lift it approximately 6 inches off the ground like so, with your foot parallel to the ground and point it out. It's going to look like this. While looking down at your foot, you're going to count it loud by 1000s. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, and so on until I tell you stop, okay?
1, 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1000.
Pick your foot up higher.
5, 1000, 6, 1000.
So I'm going to offer you another test, okay? It's completely voluntary, not limited evidentiary breath test. Okay, you said your last drink was...
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you know what the legal limit in the state of Washington is for someone who's 19 years old?
Nothing at all?
No, not quite. So it's .002. Yep.
Okay.
So .051, okay? So you're over the legal limit, okay? So go ahead and turn around and put your hands behind your back, okay? You're under arrest for DUI under 21.
After explaining the rules, the officer begins to administer the test. First, she fails to track the point of the pen with her eyes. He demonstrates the next test to her and asks her to proceed. She failed the next test, too, being unable to walk a straight line, and she did not walk heel to toe. Hollinger also fails the last test. The officer decides to administer a breathalyzer. The legal limit for someone underage is .02, and she registers a .51, which means she would have to be placed under arrest for DUI under 21. Hollinger complies and allows the cop to place handcuffs on her.
How are the cuffs built? Are they too tight? Okay, do you want your cell phone or anything?
If I can call my mom, yeah.
Okay, we'll take that, okay?
Okay.
The officer read her rights before he led her to the back of the car, while making sure the cuffs were not too tight. He brings her phone along at her request. He goes back to inform the other passenger in the car that her friend is under arrest for DUI, and she isn't 21. Her friends decide to go with her to the station. The officer agrees and takes them.
All right, if I take the handcuffs off, you gonna beat me up? You sure? All right, move them back. There you go. Unlace your fingers. All right.
The officer takes Hollinger back to the station to get processed. He takes her handcuffs off and shows her the results of the breath test. He reads an extended version of her rights and passes the form to her for her signature. They talk for a long time as they wait for the breath test. After he is done processing her and he's given her a court date, he takes her and her friend home. Ashley Hollinger was cited under RCW 46.61.503 for driving under the influence under the age of 21. She pleaded guilty to the amended charge under 64.44.272, possession of alcoholic beverage display. She was sentenced to 3 hours of community service, a $500 fine, a $300 probation fee, and a $43 criminal conviction fee.
Y'all all right?
Yeah. No, sir.
What's wrong with you, buddy?
My heart.
Okay, get me a ambulance to get one of these guys checked up. He's bleeding from the arms. He's advising he's got some heart pain. They did flip open the ditch into a rock bed.
Police patrol encounters 3 sports cars racing at speeds estimated to be more than 100 miles per hour. The street racers try to get away from the cops by speeding up and weaving through light traffic. One of the fleeing cars strikes a creek and flips over in a crash that ends in a ditch.
Get your hands up over here. Get back over here. Put your hands on the wall right there. Put your hands on that wall right there.
I don't have my glasses on.
Pretty sure you can't see. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Coming across downtown right now. Even a few minutes. Yeah, about a quarter mile ahead of you is where he's going to be.
Get over here. Stand right here. Y'all all right?
Yeah. No, sir.
What's wrong with you, buddy?
My heart.
Okay, get me a ambulance to get one of these guys checked up. He's bleeding from the arms. He's advising he's got some heart pain. They did flip open the ditch into a rock bed. Put your hands behind your back. Yeah, I stay right there. Who's driving the car?
Me, sir.
Okay. Man, what is y'all's problem, man? Blowing through intersections 100 and something miles an hour? Where'd that other car go? Did it crash?
Nah, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure where the other two cars went. This was there's the red sports car. It's totaled. It's upside down in the ditch. Go ahead and start me 1011.
Dashcam catches footage of the 3 racers charging down the road. The officer begins pursuit of the fleeing cars. The footage shows one of the racers crashed his vehicle, and the audio picks up the officer apprehending 2 of them. He leads the 2 young men to the cop car, and the dashcam shows their faces. The officer asks if they're okay, and one of them says he isn't. He complains about his heart when the officer asks him what is wrong with him. He's also bleeding from his arm from the crash. The injured one admits that he was the one driving the car. Weirdly enough, he didn't seem to be having heart problems when he was racing the Thought.
How old are you?
19.
How old are you?
19.
Good Lord, man. Y'all could have killed somebody. Who turning out your lights?
No.
Good Lord. Y'all blew by me. I don't know where the other 2 went. This is my driver and this is my passenger. I'm gonna go ahead. Is there anybody else in that car?
No.
Who was missing their glasses?
Me, yeah. I wasn't lying when I said
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Sorry about that.
You gotta understand, man, my blood pressure and stuff goes up pretty high.
Yeah.
You got your driver's license with you?
It's in my pocket, sir.
Come here, stand up for me.
Well, that could be.
Okay, since you wasn't driving, I don't have any charges on you and stuff. I can't say that you can control what he does with his own vehicle and stuff, so I'm not gonna have any charge on him, but I'm putting you down as a witness. You're gonna be a witness and stuff, and a passenger in the accident part of it. He's going to jail for felony fleeing. This is serious stuff, man. We're gonna get our point across. We're gonna start charging people with felonies when you're racing. And let y'all know something else, we're gonna have helicopters up at different times and stuff, you know, so in a situation like this and stuff, you know, your car is gonna be tracked, and now we have deals, we can get close enough, we can tag your car and just let you go on about your business and go to your house and arrest you and stuff. Be aware of that. Tell your partners out there. Yes. Okay, come over here right quick. I need you to put your name.
Yeah.
Well, write your name, date of birth, an address, and a phone number.
I don't know my address.
Well, you better find it, because you're not going to leave until I get it.
Yeah.
Right to where I can read it. Write your date of birth. Yeah. Nah, just put it in whatever, front. Yeah, put it in his front.
Dumb and Dumber reveal that they're both 19 years old. They're young, but not too young to make better choices. The officer gives them a stern talking to, and rightfully so. Speeding across intersections and down roads, with traffic going by, is incredibly dangerous. Not just to the driver, but to other people on the road as well. Impressively, the officer manages to remain calm through this, even as he reports the chase on the radio. An ambulance arrives to check on the injured boy before they get taken to the police station. Escobar Lopez, the driver of the car, was charged with felony hit and run. The case remains open. Apparently, wannabe Vin Diesel has a long history of speeding violations. Now that he's wrecked his car, hopefully that would put an end to his street racing days. That's all for now. Hopefully, these kids have learned their lesson and will no longer engage in reckless behaviors. Wishful thinking. Yeah, definitely. There's certainly going to be more rich kids getting taught lessons in the future, and we'll be here to provide you with more of these. Make sure to like and subscribe. Till next time.